Um, there is a situation that is happening that Dean is aware of and is having to keep quiet about, and it's a very substantial secret, and how that plays out is I'm excited to see how that's going to play out. So that's what I'm excited about. So I guess that would make me excited for other people to see it too. So yeah, it's the secret that Dean is harboring right now. I would say pretty good. I think one of the great things about our show is that the writers and producers pay attention to feedback. They know when things stick and they know when things don't stick, and I think it's very intelligent of them to utilize the ones that work. And it's look, Jared and I love having characters that we can establish a relationship with. It's very difficult to establish a relationship in just one episode. So the more characters that we get to kind of create storylines and relationships with, I think the richer the show becomes. So I hope they bring back. Benny's been one of my favorite characters since day one. I love what Ty did with the character. I love the way it was written. I love the bond that he and Dean had. I think that was really richly layered in a way that we haven't seen for some time. So I hope they bring him back. There's obviously Felicia and Charlie's the character of Charlie. I think is obviously something that needs to be revisited. And then we've got the Bobby and I don't know what the deal is with that, but it is supernatural, so anything can happen. But yeah, I think that the writers understand that there are characters that are fan favorites, and I think it would benefit all of us to have them back and write for them. So.
You mentioned in the past that you were attracted to this character because of the comedy and recklessness, and you can be pretty funny. So do you actively go when it's appropriate for opportunities to inject those things in the scenes, even if may not have been previously planned?
Oh, sure. I think that's one of the great things about playing a character this long is you can add things between the lines, and you can find. We often preach a lot about nuances of a scene or nuances of a character, and it's essentially stuff that is not written on the page. It's strictly stuff that's that comes out, and I'll use a word I don't like to use very often when referring to acting, but organic. It's sometimes a scene can lend itself. There was I don't know if you guys saw the sizzle reel for next season, but there's a line in there that Crowley has to Sam where we're talking about torture, and Crowley says, you're going to put the S&M into Sam. And it wasn't written or anything like that, but in the moment, I was like, wow, that's a really odd, and of course we're staring him down and trying to be very intense, and I kind of allowed Dean to react to that in a very Dean way. It was kind of like, it's like I think the little nuances like that really kind of enrich a character and and it's also the writers will write in there, they'll give a direction to me, like Jensen, do whatever you want here, or Jensen, do something funny or something, like that, so there's a lot of trust, I think, between myself and the writers and the producers and them with me, and I think that freedom allows for a lot of really spontaneous creativity, and it's really cool. It's a really cool thing to have, and I think that I think I know the character well enough to be able to take chances and find those funny moments when when they may not be there on the page, but they all of a sudden are there in the scene to utilize that and go with it.
director?
Yeah, you know, I've tried writing in the past, and I don't have enough confidence in the conceptualization part of it, because I think, oh well, I could do it this way, but I could do it this way, and what's the better way, and I can't decide. Forget it. So I find that I'm a lot better at tweaking things. Like if somebody gives me a concept or a rough draft, I could take that concept and polish it up and help. That's yeah.
That's the last question, guys.
Tell us about the state of the relationship between Dean and Sam coming into the next season. What can you tease us with?
Well, obviously we know that they chose each other over the trials and the closing of Hell, and I think that was probably not shocking to most people, because it is what the show is about, is this brother bond that they have. So the fact that they have willfully chosen each other means that they are now going to need each other more than ever, because now they're going to have all of this other stuff to deal with, and it's going to be a word that Jeremy used, a free-for-all basically on Earth now, with all these fallen angels. You still got the demons, and they've got to find a way to exist amongst all this and still fight the good fight. So they're really going to need each other more than ever, and I think that their mission, though it's unclear, is still the underlying, fight the good fight, and but now they got to figure out what that is exactly. So it's going to be an interesting twist and turns this season, I think. Yeah.